Hey everyone!
Cheers!
So happy to see you here at
the new fortnight LH crypto analysis.
Yeah, you wanted to say weekly, like
yes.
I heard it from your lips. Okay, so yeah, what are we going to talk about today? Oops.
Well, we're going to talk about today about the growing tendencies in the world economy, particularly with Bitcoin and Euro, currency of Europe, and at the same time on the falling tendencies like the exchange rate of USD.
Well, actually, gold was not falling. Okay.
Another growing tendency, right?
Yeah. So mostly growing.
Yes. So some just brief notes about the most sensational stocks growth of the week, not to say of the year, and economic calendar to sum it all up.
Yep.
Let's go.
Okay, we're going to start, surprise, with Bitcoin. Yeah, and well, we're never tired of talking about that, and this time it was, well, actually the news is good, luckily. So this week Bitcoin reached the level of 11,000 USD per Bitcoin, which is great news. And
massive.
Yeah, experts say that if Bitcoin manages to keep it at least in the corridor 10,800 and 11,300, then it will reach the next level when it's never falling below 10. Well, not never, but not in the nearest future, falling below 10,000. So it will get above this significant resistance level of 9,800, and it will be cool. So yeah, and this is actually the first time that Bitcoin is reaching this high for a year, since August 2019. Great news.
Right, 10,000 USD per Bitcoin was some sort of what they call psychological level. Yes, and suddenly, although expectedly, the amount of speculative open positions for the Bitcoin price has reached, can you imagine it, the historical top level, even more than it was in late 2017 when all the cryptocurrency hysteria was on the rise. So this is how it usually happens. Meanwhile, today we won't just separate it all into the real world and not the real world. European currencies reaching its most impressive levels for the last 22 months. So the pair Euro USD is on the top level for the last 22 months, and Euro has posted gains for the last 2 weeks. Can you imagine it? So we saw it only growing, constantly growing. So, well, it's not like the European economy is getting stronger, vice versa. It's still pumped with money, and like we saw today, the Germany GDP has dropped significantly and really painfully.
They had expected, yeah.
Yes, whilst the GDP of US has dropped, less than they expected, not that painfully, but still, do you see the major difference between the 34, minus 34 and minus 32? Well, they don't, as well as the results of the new jobless claims, which are growing for 2 consecutive weeks. This never really brings a lot of trust into USD, not to mention that Federal Reserve meeting just commenced today, Federal Reserve's Open Markets Committee, as well as the letter interview of Mr. Chairman, never cheered the crowd, because it was only said that the current policies will go on, and nothing was said about another pumping of money for another billion or two. Whilst all those Democrats and Republicans still cannot agree on another package of economic stimulus worth 3 billion, and this all pushes the poor USD down relatively to all other currencies.
Gold is actually hitting its historical maximum, well, for not so positive reasons though, of course, because people are not trusting into bonds, like US bonds, they're not trusting in Euro and negative interest rates, so they're okay. They're like, okay, let's look for some asset that is showing at least some growth, and they're looking at gold or other metals like platinum, I don't know, silver, palladium, though these metals are not showing that awesome, groundbreaking, historical results like gold does, but still they're doing good. So, and actually people are wondering if gold is going to keep growing, like as with Tesla stocks, we were saying like, no, it can't grow more, and it still does. Well, I don't know if it's doing it now, but I don't know. And people are wondering, can gold surpass 2000? And we're like, well, technically...
Maybe it is doing it now.
It can, yeah, because people are still uncertain about the future. People are still uncertain about the economies, and central banks are still pumping the economies with money. Like cheap money is not doing so good.
Deteriorating value of money makes
the
people
price
get back
of gold,
to something which is always stable.
So 2000 is still possible. Okay. But we'll see next in a fortnight.
Yeah, in a fortnight, and we'll definitely inform you on that part. One was with Kodak. Yes, that once upon a time giant company, giant of photography, which disappeared for years from the horizon due to their inability to reshape themselves into the digital era. So suddenly. Suddenly it was decided that they would be given a 700-something government loan, and this loan would be used to produce necessary components for drugs, for medical purposes, and so on and so forth. And the loan has to be repaid within 25 years. Yeah, Trump said this is kind of a deal to make United States less dependent from the import components. Well, see the shadow of China here. So, investors reacted immediately. Kodak stocks just brought immense profit for those who were able to seize the opportunity. Well, this is just thousands of percent, because
no way.
Yes, because they started from 2.5 USD per share, then jumped to 10, 11 into 24 hours. Then the next day it jumped from 20 to 56, which makes it 20,000%, if I'm not mistaken.
Who could imagine that?
Yeah, now it's floating in between 30 and 40 channel. Yeah, sometimes you can bring life into the almost dead corpse of a company, just pumping it with
government money,
a few dollar more. So we can have a calendar, just what to look on for the next week or two, right?
Okay.
So Monday, August the 3, again the great PMI day, when we'll see the German manufacturing PMI monthly, and European and US and UK manufacturing PMI for July. Well, it's going to be quite entertaining. So Wednesday, August the 5th, composite and services PMI in UK, the non-farm employment in US, and Friday, August the 7th, non-farm payrolls in United States and general unemployment rate in United States. Well, hope that won't grow, because we finally are really tired of those negative news. So we want positive.
Well, you can find positive, it's just that you have to ignore the unemployment rate in the US, and
right.
Can't imagine that.
Yeah, kind of so. Okay, see you in 2 weeks. Well, stay tuned with our channels, and
may the profit be with you.
May the profit be with you.
Bye.
Bye.